So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for our gracious host, Saul, and many others who are hosting us throughout the Mondays, throughout the years that we're doing it. But obviously, every week we study from the point of view of a revelation that is occur in the world every week for thousands and thousands of years repeatedly, until humanity will come to a place at where they can handle the revolution or revelation that needs to happen in their life. So for example, if you like, I don't know, if you start driving, right? You're waiting every year until you're ready to drive when you, I don't know, in America, 16, 17. You're waiting for your permit that now it means I'm responsible. Same thing spiritually. Every week there are tremendous revelations, tremendous secrets that wants to be, download to this world. But the humans won't be able to handle them. For them it will be like a hoax, or like a lie, or whatever it is. They're not going to see it as truth. Therefore, those secrets has to be concealed until humanity will be ready to understand it. This week, we connecting to what we call the portion of Noah. Noah was, if you remember, the generation is 10 generations prior to Abraham. And it's the time of the flood. You probably heard, God destroyed the world, beside few and animals that was kept for continuity and so forth, right? That's beautiful. That's beautiful the way we learn it in school, but let's understand what it means to my life today. Because we are in a very, very, I cannot even tell you how, again, I'm not coming from any fear. I don't interested in bringing fear, but I'm interested that in the next few weeks, again, from last week, this world is not the same. The reason it's not the same is because the level of cruelty the human being could go to. I'm not here to blame anybody, but I'm here to present an idea that can help us take this world from where it is today, which seems like, or might sound like, lack of hope or maybe positivity, and it seems like the end of the world, and it seems like catastrophe. The Kabbalah says when you see this amount of darkness that is being revealed in this world, you have to pause very strong and awaken whoever is next to you, whoever wants to hear. Why? Noah had the same story. They call it Noach ish tzaddik bedorotav. They said Noach was a righteous man in his time. And many of the commentators says, what do you mean? He was righteous. Compared to Abraham, 10 generation later, he's not a righteous man. Yeah, in his generation, he was considered to be a righteous person. But there's a problem, because he's the only one who heard there's a flood. Nobody wants to even, he didn't go and tell people, hey, we got to change because listen, there's a flood coming in. You want to hear even this week's in the portion, in the Torah, it's written, in the Bible, it's written this week. We know what's written. I'm going to read for you. Very important. He says, ותשחט הארץ לפני האלוקים. And the entire land will be wiped in front of, Elokim is the world of Teva, the nature, the world of nature. ותמלא הארץ Chamas. And the entire land will be Chamas. As he's using this word twice in the same section, and he can continue speaks about Chamas. Now, you can say, oh, you find it. No, it's exactly in this week of what it means. Now, some people don't even know that when we're speaking about spiritually, We're not talking about specific people, because we're speaking about the majority of negativity influence whoever is open or conduit for that evil. It can be anyone that is open for negativity. Like many times in our life, happened to you before that you felt like, I don't know what got into me, right? I couldn't control myself. Many times you see, wow, I didn't know what to do. I was lack of control. I lost it, you call it. First of all, when we're speaking about Chamas, what are we speaking about? A terror group? Of course not. The literal word for Chamas, you know what it means? Anybody know? Anybody knows?
Destruction.
What the literal way is shchitut, which is corruption. Corruption. When somebody is a mushchat is somebody that is corrupted, right? That's what means Hamas and destruction. Why would somebody will call themselves a group like that? I don't know, but that's not me. You can Google it. It's not me coming up with a translation. This is what's there, right? Again, there's many secrets here. One, first of all, to understand that what happened on Saturday, the flood started. The flood of negativity started, of evil started it. But we, each one of us who listen, who is here, who is listening tomorrow, wherever you are, we can stop that. We can stop that. If a small group of people, let's take 1,000 or 2,000 people who started a vicious negativity in the world, 1,000 positive people can stop it energetically. That's what's available for us. How? But first of all, we need to be in the ark. We need to enter into the ark. The ark is not a physical structure, but spiritual structure that you can put yourself. Then you can create that frame for yourself. So few ideas that comes from this week that we can all at least awaken ourselves, but really more importantly, awaken people around you, because nobody is secure and safe wherever they are, even if they are Muslim, even if they are a Christian or Hindu, it doesn't matter. It's not just that. It's started in the world, the flood of negativity, and we need to do something about it. Not need, we have to. Each one of us in our own circle, I give you a few ideas. So first, let's understand the idea of Noach. Noach is the name of the individual, but Noach is also a code. That's why it's the second portion of the Torah, to indicate for us that the real work that each one of us wants to do. And it consisted from the word Noach. Noach, which means the name of a person, but it's also the word for what? Anybody speaks Hebrew? Comfortable. I want to be comfortable, right? That's already tell you, right? Bereshit, the first portion last week, was creation. Created. I want to be anybody here doesn't want to be their own life creator? Anybody here tell me, when you access your creativity, you can't stop. You're wishing to do it all day long. Why? Because you are the creator. But then comes this week, and sometime when we're creating and we're doing great things, now we need to do what? I need a breather. I need to rest. A lot of people right now, actually, throughout the last 20 days, we did a lot of work, in the high holidays, and for those of you who were with us, Sukkot and Yom Kippur and all of that. And now comes after Yom Kippur, after Sukkot, Simchat Torah, I need what? I need a rest from all this time we're working, all these holidays and all this and doing family. I need a rest, right? That's the nature of all of us. But as it tells you, as soon as you sit down, you're calling upon negativity. That's what it is. Why? Because we never came here to rest. We came to do everything peacefully. but not to rest. And for sure, certainly not working. We never meant to work. All these jobs that people have, it's never meant to be part of humanity. Seriously. We meant to just be here and reveal light by how? By become unconditional people with each other. Everything else will be taken care of by the animals, by miracles. Everything will be taken care of. We never meant to do all this work, Yeah, what do we need? Carpets? People working so hard to make carpets, to sell them, and couches, or wherever to sit. And again, there's a reason why those jobs and all this happening, but it wasn't meant to be the purpose from the beginning. Okay, that's what we meant to do, right? That our friend will buy us food, we're sitting and we study and eat. But let's understand the idea. It's called Noach build an ark. How you say in an ark in Hebrew? Teva. Teva. Uvne lecha tevat atzei gofer. Please, he's asking, build an ark. And the ark called the word Teva. The Teva, for those of us who understand, it's not just ark. Teva, it's a note. Tav or Teva. I don't know if you know in Hebrew, it's Teva. It's also Tavim, which is notes, music notes. But it's also signals, right? A vibration of sort. So now he tells you that the ark is not a physical structure that you go and protect yourself. It's a certain vibration that once you vibrate on that same level, you are, again, there's many frequencies. But if you're in a very low frequency, you're communicating with terror. But if you're in a higher level of frequency, it's beneath you, right? So let's understand. If you vibrate in your life with the ark, which is with the word Noach, comfortable. If your vibration is that I just want to be comfortable, eventually that vibration is a very low frequency that will attract many, many different adversary or in a way negativity, because this world we never meant to come here and be just comfortable. What do we came here to do? Flip the word Noach, you get the word Chen. Chen is beauty, but it's also the code for Chochmat HaNistar. We came to reveal the secrets, the concealments of the light. We came to reveal, not to conceal, not to destroy. I spoke last week, and again, also in Noach, he says, we saw that the world was destroyed. And as the world was destroyed, the Noach coming out from the ark, and there was a rainbow, right? How many of us like to see a rainbow, right? All of us. I always like people who don't know, they think rainbow is a beautiful thing, right? Wow, it's such a rainbow. You know what it means, right? Mm-hmm. But if you don't know what it means when rainbow coming out, it's not because the rain and the sun and all this thing, right? It says in portion Noach that every time you're going to see a rainbow is because the world was supposed to be destroyed totally, or that area where you saw a rainbow was supposed to be destroyed. But the rainbow is the sign of the covenant between you and the Creator, your Creator, that He says, I will never destroy the world like it was in the Malul, in the flood. Never. There is an absolute covenant, there's absolute promise, there's absolute security. So don't worry about global warming. Don't worry about anything. The world will never be destroyed. All the hooks of the global warming is nonsense, my friend.
How the boss?
What? Why? You know why? I'll tell you why. It is true that it's happening, actually. The ice is melting, the weather is changing. But you know why? It's not going to destroy the world. It's meant to awaken people to care a little bit for the world, to erase their carbon print from the world, to stop buying stuff that you don't need. It starts waking you up to use better material and stop using garbage. That's what it tells you. Care for the world. That's why the whole idea, spiritually speaking. They come up with all the proof that there is global warming. That's okay. It's not going to destroy the world. Don't worry. But it meant to awaken us. The same thing with what we've experiencing in the last week. I'm telling you, the world is not, but people are. So what do we need? We need half of the population to be wiped so we can wake up and we'll be soldiers. What do we need? Ask yourself, what do you need for you to be the ultimate soldier of the light? What do you need to become an ultimate, servant of this world? No, what the world can give me, not what I can give to the world. That's what people waking up in the morning. What else the world can provide for me? That's our comfort. And again, we will do everything. We will go to the other side of the world so it can give us money so we will be comfortable. Yes, we will do uncomfortable things for the sake of being more comfortable. That shouldn't be the consciousness of this world or of us. So one of the beautiful things that he says, that when he says that Chamas, when the entire land filled with Chamas, what does it mean? He asks us, the Kabbalah says, that represents collective consciousness. Therefore, each one of us are maybe adding our own little negativity. Listen, compared to everybody else, I'm very positive, right? That's the justification. Compared to my family, you should see my family. I was saved, right? Somehow I was chosen, right? Everybody says the same thing. Trust me, your brothers, your sisters say the same thing about themselves. Okay? So, again, I'm not to put down anybody. You are special, right? But, we are not the only one. We're not the only one. So obviously sitting there and thinking I'm the only one and I have all of us have a little bit, I just have a little bit negativity, not like them. Your little bit and my little bit and her little bit and this little bit eventually become a collective, that bunch of people that are waiting to hurt people got the message. And they release that. It's not some God who's sitting there and says, you know what, you're not behaving, I'm going to show you. That's what people think. No. Many times, and I said yes last week, and I will repeat it every week until we remember that. The Creator created the world and finished the job. He doesn't need to do anything here. The job been given to us to finish. Everything was done. Everything is made. Everything. There is no creator sitting here like, oh, you don't behave, smack you. It doesn't have that system. It's simply our collective consciousness, right? The critical mass of our desires tilt where we going to do, what we going to do, how we going to behave. If somebody tells you jump, so no. Majority of your logic tells you, no, I'm not going to do it. But if somebody is susceptible and a little bit weaker, you tell him, jump, it's good for you. Nothing going to happen for you. They might jump. And that's what happened. But once it was released, we have to wake up. Why? Because it's not happening there. It's happening here. It's not as I said before, any other place in the world is not the same. But the land of Israel, I'm not talking about the Jewish people, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the land of Israel, this holy land. When negativity being transpired or ignited on that land in these levels, all of us need to really wake up strongly. Because this is the source of light to the world. And whoever sits there has a responsibility to spread that light to the world, to really reveal that light to the world. And when they don't do the work, again, that's what happened a few months ago when there was the hatred for no reason. It's transpired into something very negative. So our responsibility is to do something about it. Is what? I'll tell you what my teacher told us and telling us in many different levels. There was a situation in the Torah, and same story, but that's where the idea is. There were two evil people. It's called Balak and Bilam. We spoke about them many times. And all what they wanted to do is to curse the Israelites, right? And when they came and they finally find the right potion and the curse, they went on the mountain and about to curse the entire Israelite, which is they don't even know what's going on with them. And instead of curse, a beautiful blessing came out. Actually, a blessing for generation from these two evil people. So based on that idea, similar to that, each one of us as a collective, as individual, if we want to reveal so much light in the world that if somebody somewhere there in some side of the world wants to do something negative, it will do positive things. That's the amount of energy we want to bring to the world. That if someone will be open to negativity somewhere in the world, something will come to him like, no, I actually want to help. Or something, the idea will come to them and they will not be able to do anything besides positive action. Because otherwise there's no way. You cannot convince anyone in the world. Logically, or nobody communicates with each other in the world. So obviously, this is one of the things that in this portion, in Noach, got broken before, because it says, one of the point here, if you remember the Tower of Babel, anybody remember that? That everybody, they wanted to build a tower like that is go all the way to the sky, to heaven, right? Not going to go into that details, but it says that lekulam hayta safa achat, they all had one language. And because they're all using the power that they want to control the world, right? Like what we see, terror, Chamas, back then, I'm talking about more than 5,000 years ago, right? Chamas controlled the world. What did it create? A confusion. Bilbelam et safa, changed the language. All of a sudden, many languages, nobody understood each other. Since then, it was how do we call it? Mercury went to retrograde. That's what people using, right? Now we don't. Oh, we have a problem with communication. No, it's not our problem. It's Mercury. Everybody calling it whatever they're calling it, right? Understand that if we are unified on the language, and it's not English or Hebrew, the language which is consciousness of light, the language of what we're talking about, if all of us will be on that same page, that's what it means. That's the conversation we want to have, that it's only the same conversation. Again, I see people going to the street and protesting. No problem, you want to go out, go, but why don't we go with peace? Let's inject love. Let's show how beautiful of people you are. You want to see more evil? You want to fight with the other side and then standing there? How good does it mean? It do the same thing that got us to be in trouble. So we have to change this conversation. We have to have a safa achat, one language, one conversation, one direction. And eventually it will happen. And if it's not happening again, think about it. If Chas v'Shalom, God forbid, half of population get wiped on fire, boom, Chas v'Shalom, what do you think the other half will do? Whatever it takes. They will be the best soldier. They will do whatever. Please, I'll do whatever. I will save. Let me do whatever. I will save the world. I will work all my life. People do that when there's so much negativity. We don't need that. We can proactively work, do uncomfortable spiritual work. Do uncomfortable spiritual work. You know what is uncomfortable spiritual work? I'll tell you what it means in our time. Only this week. Only this week. I'm interested, like what I'm doing every night with myself since it's happening. I'm finding within me places that I am that terrorist. I am those terror. Benjamin, you said, no, yes. We all have levels that we terrorize others in different levels. I just shared earlier in a class, I said, I remember, how I used to terrorize my girlfriend. Every time I tell her I'm leaving you, right? Is terrorize her life. Couldn't function, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, right? Many years ago, okay? but I realized, wow, I did it. I don't find on a daily basis. You can find it, but you have to take responsibility. Where is your Chamas? Where are you corrupted? Where are you doing things to take advantage of for yourself? Where is your Chamas? Chamas is translation of what? Corruption. Don't tell me you are not corrupted by ego, by money, by position, by possession, by status. Status corrupting people. Fame corrupting people. Why? Because I can sue. Now I'm a famous person. I can do this. I can do that. Or now I have money. I need to behave this way. Corrupts you. You make believe on something else because of the corruption internally. So if we can clean and clear all the corruption that we have in our mind, we're corrupting the way we're thinking, so it will serve us, serve our comfort. We're corrupting people in our life, so it will be under our control. That is where and how you can bring yourself into the ark. I don't ask you to be a religious person. I don't ask you to pray to God, or to, whatever you need to. People think, very simple. Take responsibility. Find it. Eradicate terror from this world. But if each one of us will still stay with their terror, right? How many, let's say you're a boss. Sometime when, they don't listen to you, you terrorize them. Right? Or you terrorize people in the street, or it cannot be in a simpler way. You adding a little drop, and eventually, as collective, we're influencing that. It's the first thing as people of Kabbalah. We want to look inside. Where am I terrorizing myself, my circle? Where am I corrupted and corrupting my circle? This is this week. Every situation that comes to you, every situation that appears, look inside, because this is how you insert yourself into the ark, into the teva. What is the teva? The vibe. A different vibe. A vibe of energy of people take responsibility. A vibe of people not looking for my comfort. Remove the vibe of corruption, because eventually it's translating many different ways. A vibration that gets the worst out of you and people. Couple more points, and then we're going to go, that is important to remember. Again, it's a longer conversation, this one. Yeah, we spoke about that, but okay, I'll share it because every year I share this secret, but sometimes I say, okay, I can do without that secret. No, it's important secret from the ark. The Creator gave instruction to Noah and telling him, you need to build an ark, and then he says, Tzohar ta'aseh lateva. Tzohar, he said, Tzohar, do in the ark, do Tzohar. Tzohar can be two things. Okay, one, it can be a window. It says open a window for the ark. Or some commentator called Sohar, Even Yakara, a very precious stone. Right? So the many people ask, wait a second, did the Creator ask him to open a window or to bring a stone, a precious stone inside? What does it mean? Now, spiritually, I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter for us. One is that window represent in this idea is we open the window to see what they have. We're always looking outside of our window. What do they have? Why can't I have it? How come they found their soulmate, I didn't? How come their business is doing well now? How come their finance is better than me? Well, we always have a window to look outside. Here in that story, it tells you, no, don't open the window. Bring a precious stone. What does it mean? The light is inside of you. So many of the commentators say, yeah, but it says to open a window. But again, we need to have both. One, the only reason I'm opening a window within me, so I can be transparent on my condition. I can share. People will feel who I am, what I am. I'm not hiding. Open the window. Allow people in. Allow people in. Allow the light in. That's why you open the window. But remember, you have to bring the precious stone, which means the light have to be ignited from within us. It cannot be that I'm seeking for light from others. Open the window, bring the light from there. No. The light of each person belongs to them. And if you see something that you want or something, it's not because they have. It's because you can ignite it for you. Not because I want what they have. It's completely different understanding here. And then once you connect into that, what we call the precious stone, that light within you, then you open the window to share light with the world. That's the idea. That's the reason of what we're calling the ark, is not just that to open a window to check, but to really to share that light. The last thing, I can't go without that. Sorry. Where is my friend? Where is my friend? I wrote it here. You remember the story? Remember the story that with the dove and the raven? If you remember, the flood stops. The ocean was already come down, and then he says, "Send the raven, right, to check if there's a land, right?" So obviously, the raven, he opened the window. The raven never came back, right? Never came back. The dove get out, and then she went and come back, and she went again, and then she came back after 7 days, I think, with an olive branch. But she came back, right? So there's two things. First of all, where in our life we behave like the raven or we behave like the dove? Which means, where in your life you going all the way? The dove came back, meaning she went all the way. I'm not going to stop until I find the land, and I'm going to bring you a proof that that's happened. Most of us starting, I'm tired, right? Most of us, sometimes like the raven, never coming back. Never looking, to come back, right? To come back to where? Come back to your light, meaning to come back to be connected to who you are, not to be selfish and looking for what's in it for me only, right? Orev, also from the word Orev, again, we spoke in different times. Where did I speak about the raven? Recently, right? Okay. So obviously the raven is as well a reminder for us. that when you learn something, when you awaken, or when you got connected to a certain wisdom, right? Go back to your friends. Tell them you found something. Go back to somebody in trouble that you know that was there last week and give them a word. Like, oh, maybe you should try that. Go back, meaning find a way to help people that stayed back, right? And again, all of us like, I want to move forward. I'm done with this, Okay. I tried so many times. That's the raven mentality. The dove doesn't stop, but consistent, right? So there are many, many gifts this week. Some of them I'll share throughout the week more, but the important part that I would appreciate it is, one, remember, Noach ish tzaddik bedorotav. He was a righteous man in his generation. So remember, sometime in life, don't hold yourself that righteous. You had a good idea for the moment. Move on, right? You were in the moment, you were righteous. But, the next day you wake up all the way from the beginning. Yeah, you had your glory day. So what, you living like now backward, these days? No, wake up again. Oh, in my generation, right? You hear those conversations with people? In my generation. Now, we were speaking this morning, right? Like my kids, they're running around, they got hurt, the weekends, like, and the whole house has to be, all the corners are to be protected, So we spoil when we were kids. There wasn't any protection, right? You just go outside to the street and you play with the cars, with rocks, with there was no much of technology, nothing, right? 70, 80s, just in the street, right? So I'm saying, in our generation, okay, it's not a generation, now it's a different generation. Same thing. Yesterday you had a good idea, you sold the company. Wake up the next day, build new company, sell it. Why build one, more? Why am I holding on yesterday? Wow, what a revelation. I saved their life. You wake up in the morning, nothing happened. Ish tzaddik holding to ourselves as righteous of yesterday. If we can this week, please, every week we're going to share more about what's happening. We have to stop the flood of negativity that started in this world, my friend. Those of you listen, those of you who are here, those of you have friends, you have to understand it's not from fear, it's not from this. These are method that was method. These are, what do we call it? Prophecies that tells you there's thousands of different ones. If we're not changing, there are 1,000 different ways of getting us to change. But if we don't waiting for anything, and we're gonna take this work, first of all, be uncomfortable, finding your terrorists, finding your corruption, finding your comfort, finding how you're holding on something in the past. Move on. There's many new revelation that waits. We enter into the ark. And once you entered into the ark, we have a chance of bringing more people to the ark. Go back to your friends. Don't be the raven. Find more people. Help more people to bring them into the ark, into the consciousness. Right now is the time. We don't want to wait for more, God forbid, people wipe and say, oh, yeah. Okay. It's serious. It's serious. We're sitting here comfortable, right? In New York, who cares? It's somewhere there. It's right here. Don't be surprised. God forbid, it's right there. So really wake up, urgency for that, and wake up people around us and do this work. It's a simple work. It shouldn't be comfortable, but simple work to do. Thank you for joining us. And whoever have a question, please.